Hello, everybody, and good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And thank you for joining Neo4j Live. Today, I have a very special topic with my dear guest Daniel. Today, we have the topic of Bundesflow, AI for legislative transparency. I'm very excited. I'm happy to have you here, Daniel. Welcome to Neo4j Live. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and hello to our guests. And I'm very thankful to you for setting up this meeting and being invited to this series.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you very much in advance already for building Bundesflow, which is, I think you reached out. Where was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago or something on LinkedIn. We quickly had a chat, and I realized, okay, wow, this needs to happen soon because the German election is coming up. The general election of the Bundestag is taking place on the 23rd of February, so in a couple of weeks' time. This is very timely, very spot on. So I'm super looking forward to today's conversation. So yeah, I that's how it started. That's how we got in touch, and so that's why it's a bit of a shorter notice than usual, maybe. But hopefully you all find it interesting, nevertheless. Even if you're not in Germany, you are not able to vote here. I think it's interesting how government parliamentary data can be used, can be combined in a way of making it available through a chatbot or through a website experience to get information out of it, because oftentimes it is difficult to access this data, I think, and probably you can tell us a little bit about it. I just remember that I had Frederick from Open. Sorry, now I'm blanking out the company now, but they talk about how data flows between companies and how they are organizing, fighting against organized crime and basically tracking the data that open sanctions is what it is. So now it comes back. So they're tracking sanctionized companies and how people involved in that are trying to avoid this and how it can be tracked. This is a whole completely different setup, I know, but it's also similar kind of because the data is difficult to assess, sometimes difficult to organize. It's all hidden in PDFs and very unstructured data sometimes. So yeah, this is the topic today. But before we dive in, Daniel, maybe share a few words about who you are, what you do currently, what you're working on when you're not building Bundesflow, and how you are spending your time these days.
I'm a software engineer at the Mercedes-Benz Tech Innovation, and my focus in creating Gen AI or LLM infused application for enterprise needs. So my daily job is to see how we could help other people in our enterprise to get the most of their data, because we have a massive data sets or massive workflows, I could say, how we could optimize and also increase the performance of the other colleagues that work with these processes. And that's my day-to-day workflow. Also, I work in this area of Gen AI. I have work in different topics. One of them is also working with data that is created. Sometimes we need to understand the entities, and that comes this curiosity: how can I improve my our workflow or my understanding about the data? So that's how my day goes: working with data, trying to trying to help others to understand it better. And I work in a team. I have a very great uh, intelligent coworker that I learned daily from them, and they are a great source of inspiration for me.
Cool, great. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. It's a cool place to be, I think, these days. A cool role. So sounds very fun and very interesting, and yeah, very exciting, I guess, these days. What projects you can probably see on the horizon coming up, and how data. I think working with data might change a little bit in the coming years. So it's very interesting for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use this analogy. We work with shovels now. There are bulldozers, so we could. So that's my analogy. So that we
Yeah.
work with shovels now. We have this bulldozer that we could go through the mountains and move mountains now. We
Yeah.
create tunnels, go through these barriers, And if I want to move to our topic of today, Bundesflow, one of the reasons that I started with this project was that I'm an immigrant and I moved to Germany in 2016.
Hmm.
Uh, After I become a citizen, so I took this role of my citizenship really seriously. So I started to understand how is the whole system works and how uh, could I be a very well-informed citizen, and how can I create a well informed decision. So that was the whole main point. So I started to looking at the data, I looking at the newspapers, I look at
Hmm.
everything, and I always have this feeling that there is a layer of interface between the what you read and what is the actual data. So because of that, okay, I said, let me try to see if there is a source of the data that I can go through it. I self try to work with it. So then I started to see German government actually open a lot of data sources, and you can go through and see a lot of documents, a lot of processes that are open, and you can do search on it. But the problem is, again, go back to the analogy of the shovel and a bulldozer. With doing it with a shovel, it's going to be very hard to find what you want. And
Yes.
sometimes the data is, as you mentioned before, is inside a structured, on a structured way. There are PDFs, there are reports, sometimes there are graphs, sometimes there are PowerPoint. I saw a lot of PowerPoint that publish in the government websites, and you need to go through it. And at the same time, they are really interesting because is actually I can see what's happening behind.
Hmm.
So I found at the source, and I saw, okay, I have this. How can I work with it? At first, I
Yeah.
was curious. So how can I? What is my angle toward this amount of data that I can work with? So I look. There is a lot of APIs. There's one API that is opened by the government. There are other APIs that work with this data government. They get it, they clean it. One of them is Avogadro Watch. So I started to play with them. So see how can I get the information out of them. And I said, very, very quickly, I understood that it's not that easy, because there are,
Hmm. Yeah.
you see a JSON that comes from the API, but there are a hidden layer of meaning between them. So there is meaning that is inside the relationships and inside the pattern. And if you want to get it out, you need to have some interface that you can create this knowledge graph. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was the whole motivation that I started to doing this project. So eh, I want to introduce the project a little bit for the people better and to understand it a bit before
Yeah.
going deep a little bit deeper into the our conversation.
Absolutely.
I created
While you are getting, I see your screen. While you're getting this ready, I just wanted to say, as usual, if you have questions, comments, feedback on today's topic or in general, please let us know. Write in the chat while we're live, so we can answer some questions. We can look at it and try to figure out some things. If you have something for afterwards, YouTube. And I saw a question on LinkedIn, Santoshi. We are also live on YouTube, so if you prefer YouTube, then you can check out our channel Neo4j at Neo4j on YouTube. So that's a possibility, and that's the best place for follow up. So if you have further comments, questions afterwards, after we go live, then I would recommend to go to YouTube for that. But yeah, with that, let me switch over here, and here we go.
okay.
Yeah,
Um, 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 then the name from Bundesflow comes from this idea that there is data. How can I create a flow of this and make it to create some kind of move it from sources to the user? What is a Bundesflow? Bundesflow is a knowledge graph that is in a core is a knowledge graph built on the open available data. That this data come from different sources, and this Bundesflow let the user to query this knowledge graph using a natural language that you can go easily to it, ask your questions, and also it is not just the graph that is there. Also, there are vast amount of documents that are coming from a government that are hosted by the government, and there are also they are linked to this graph. So if you put something, you can easily make the relationship between this document and other entities. Also, this because there's a knowledge graph, it's and you have the relationship. It lets the users to uncover underlying patterns. You can compare different behaviors. You can look for something is there, and you can go and deeper than usually having an API that you can send a request or going through a document. So
Mhm.
um, if I want to go through the architecture of a Bundesflow at its heart is Neo4j. The Neo4j database is, I could say, the heart of the whole process, because everything that I have in the Bundesflow is indexed and ingested inside the Neo4j. I have a background
Okay.
app. I called it Bundesflow because it's go through different sites. And this Bundesflow have two parts. One of them is this is connected to Abgeordnetenwatch. Abgeordnetenwatch is uh, one opens is an NGO like organization that they gather information about what's happening in the parliament, and they open source their data that you can use them for different purposes without being worried about the license. That is really cool. I'm very thankful to them. And the other thing is that I based on the information I get from the Upgrade Watch, there are links, and I can go through and find the documents that are inside the documentations on information system for parliaments material. And that is is a government website that they collect all of the documents regarding to parliament. And also there are other sources, political parties website. So I get the information from them, index them, create a graph, and put them inside Neo4j. Then I have a Bundestag. The Bundestag is second part of the application, is that it's an agentic graph rag. So that's this pattern helps the user to ask questions and to get their answers. Um, and also I want to say that there's three part. One of them is the cipher query agent. That is a text to cipher. Use the text to cipher pattern to create answers. And other one is doc research. So a document researcher. That's a part of this agent. And also, the Bundesflow uses three different AI models. I recently added Gemini also to the bunch.
Mhm.
Why?
Cool.
Because there was one of the comments that I got from one of the earliest or users that when you limit a user just to one model, you create this idea of the bias. Okay, you should let the user to get their
Okay.
answers.
Yep.
Okay, from different AI models. Okay, at the moment, most of the things is done with OpenAI, but the answer is created by Anthropic or XAI. Also, it could be used with Gemini, but honestly, I didn't get good results. But it's still there. And I have another agent that does the evaluation every time an answer is created is done evaluation. But let's go to the graph. I think it's going to be interesting for the people in that this stream. Is that how big is this graph? Okay,
Mhm. Yeah,
how
cool.
many nodes I have? At the moment, I have 1 million nodes that is include all of the documentation after 2021.
Okay.
Okay, so and around 1.7 million relationship. Okay, and amount of the data is ingested to this knowledge graph at the moment is around 1 gigabyte. That's from the 2021.
Yep.
um,
Cool.
the thing is some of this data, you see some of the data is coming from the upgrade watch, like parties, politician, candidacy mandates, topics, and everything else. The chunks that coming from these ingested documents. So I have
Okay.
this. I have this. I have this graph is that somehow it has relationship together. You can search through it. Also, if there is a documentation, I can go through the documentation. Why I didn't go and extract them semantics out of the chunks? Because I tried to do a project step by step. That was the first step, to make it something, to see if it works and or if the people are interested in it. And gather feedback very fast, because if you fail fast, you can move faster towards your goal. So I try to yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I started to build it very small, and then expanded to gather uh, feedback to improve it. So I had initially 5, 6 of my friends, and the reason that is I always says that ballooned very fast. It was that I had it running on my computer, on my personal laptop. It was inside a Docker, and I showed the result to some of my friends, and they said, "Okay, I want to use it. How can I use it?" I said, "Okay, I need to send you this whole dump of the data." Instead, okay, make it a website that everybody else can use it. So that's the whole idea. That's motivation comes
We're very
out of it.
thankful to your friend.
Yeah, I'm very thankful. Also,
Yeah.
as part of another thing, I showed the earliest idea to my colleagues, because we have this "do what you want to do" week.
Oh,
Because
cool.
toward the week inside our company, we have this week that we could take 1 hour of our daily work and do anything we want to do. So they want to boost the creativity and trying to do something innovative.
Yeah.
I showed the first blueprint to my colleagues, and my colleagues also give me very, very encouraging feedback, and I'm very thankful to them. So because they push me towards something that I learn a lot. At the same time, it was a very good practice to go to something is deep and you can work with it. Okay, so that's it. And again, before I want to show a little bit of the how the workflow works. Okay,
Yep.
and then I go to the demo. I prepared a little bit of demo. I can go through with the people that are here, and they can see it. So, as I mentioned before, the whole agentic workflow is made with the LangChain's LangGraph framework.
Yep.
As I mentioned before, I have I have 4 agents. One of them is inside of the Cypher agent, that is a doc search agent, and the Cypher agent is tasked with querying the knowledge graph, utilizing the text to cipher pattern, and it has various methods to do name entity recognition. Because one of the earliest problems that I faced during the initial phase of development was that people started to write some question, and the question wasn't really understood by a LLM to create a query. So the thing was that I come with this idea to first extract the intent of the user. So why the user asking this question? Then start to extract the entities, for example, dates, locations, politicians, poll or bill draft. Then go through the which parliament they are asking, because the information inside the Bundesflow is not limited to Bundestag. Is also have the information about other Landestags, so that you can ask about the
Okay.
other regional government
States. Yeah.
states, and try to match this, extract them, then match them. So one of the things that I had, for example, name of the politician. One of the cool things that I honestly I could do with the framework that is provided by Neo4j was that using different functions to do the name entity recognition. So, for example, for using for the matching the politician, I use the Levenstein function from the Neo4j framework. Work very fast. It's really reliable. So it took a little bit of pain if you want to do something inside of Python. So that was really cool. Then I create a query, execute it, test it, and then generate the result. I have another agent that is a doc search agent. If you have a question regarding what's inside the documents, is do a vector search on the nodes that I built my vector index on it. There is another topic came by. Honestly, we did. When I started doing this project it was in late November. Okay, so the idea came in October, and I started working on it in the middle of the November. Okay, so the point was I didn't know we are going to have an election. Honestly, it wasn't clear. So then come the election, and some of my early users told me, okay, why can I ask about the eval program? So it's okay, I'm going to add that. So I index the eval program for from each parties, and the user can ask them. Fun fact, it doesn't not going to just give you an answer. It's going to give you some kind of research, and then you can also compare yourself to it. So I'm going to share the. I'm going to do a demo. Okay, so I'm going to share the website, and I hope that everybody can see it.
Yeah, let me switch over again. 1 second. Here it is.
So that's a main window from the Bundesflow. So it's very easy. You have the interface language, you have the language that you're going to get the answer. You can choose the different models. There's a small guide here that tell you how to ask the questions. Okay, for example, one of the things that I do to make the process of the name recognition or name entity recognition faster, it was that creating some kind of I call them tags that you can if you use topic, it's going to be easier to understand the topic, or law proposal, or for example draft is going to be easier to understand the meaning of you when you are going to ask the question. And then I have the knowledge graph here, and then I have the list of the topic is that's inside this knowledge graph, parliaments that are included that you can ask question from it, and also the name of the parties, or because there's a lot of parties there, and sometimes you need to ask something, you can ask the with full name or short name, something like that. Okay. So that's it, and that's the whole UI. So I'm going to start with one question that I gather. So I'm going to ask them, okay, give me the name of 5 members of CDU and their reported side jobs. So because the members could have a side jobs, they could go there and you can ask them. What is happening the behind the scene? First, you see that the intent is extracted, then is going to match the entities. Here, the entities is the CDU. Oh, sorry, sometimes doesn't work. So I'm going to do with another party. You see that it's got the name of the it got the name from the member. It's sometimes it doesn't find the relationship that it needed. So that's sometimes happens. Okay, and I'm going to try another question. So it's the demo jitter. If you want to demo something,
maybe you need to be. Do you think you need to be more strict about it, because you said name 5 members of the CDU and their side jobs? Maybe it just picked 5 random people and then they just didn't have side jobs. Maybe you have to say pick 5 members of the CDU that have a side job.
You see that now is working, because that's actually one of the challenges or still I'm facing. And I'm going to explain that. That's one of the main challenges that work everything really hard with a text to query. For example, here, the main challenge is that when I have although I provided the schema and the relationship to the AI to create queries, sometimes it doesn't consider them and goes its own way. Especially is happening by the direction of the relationship. It's not about it understands the whole relationship, but it doesn't understand the direction of the relationship, although it's provided. Okay, so let's come to back to the question that I provided. Sorry, it's in German. Nebentätigkeit is side jobs, and it's going to give you information. For example, it's got 1,555 items from the graph, and you see if it's the name of the politicians, their subject organization, their subject titles, and their reported income. So I asked them, give them the information is provided. Fun fact is that it doesn't go there with just going to just giving you data. It's give you some kind of summary. So häufigste Arten von Nebentätigkeit, what the usual type of side jobs is
most common side
income. So, and who is also is going to give you the name of the who is the earn the most. So that's also interesting for somebody. It's going to give you besonderes. So and besondere beobachten. That's what they saw. Okay, what was this? What was a very unusual thing that they saw inside the data?
Things of
note. Exactly. So then give you a little bit at the end a summary. As a user, you can provide if it's helpful or not. Okay. I gather this information because later I want to analyze it. It's part of our privacy policy. In the test files, we are going to collect all of the answers and the questions because we want to improve the system. So let me go to another question. I want to change the language to people to English to ask again. So I'm going to ask, give short information about Friedrich Merz and the committee he's in. So here is going to search, extract the intents again, find the entities inside the questions, searching and matching the position Friedrich Merz is found. Is going to find, it says, Friedrich Merz is currently served on the following committee. The committee is there, is give you a little bit information. Also, like all of the things that's created with AI, give you a note that also that the data is only provided information. So what's inside the graph, nothing more. So to be sure that user is not misdirected or get a misinformation. So I said go there, give the name of the members of the Verteidigungsschutz, this committee, after 2021. So it goes and do that, okay? So it's a little bit take of time.
But it's nice that you see directly, you get a good feedback. I think it's a good way of organizing it, because sometimes you just see, circle, 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 and you get an answer and you don't know what's actually happening, but you're very verbose about it, and you really show, what's happening at each point in time. So actually this is what it's doing now, this is what it's doing now, this is what it's doing now. And it gives you almost, this is also, again, the point we are constantly having about, is the other results traceable? Where's the context? Where are the sources? You show the steps of the whole process in the query step. So that's really cool.
That's honestly was a comment from one of the early users. They said, it takes too long time. So I said, how can I improve it? I tried to shave off a couple of seconds from the graph and a couple of seconds in the improve some process, but at the end it takes time. So and I came to this conclusion. Be transparent. Let the user what's happening behind the scene. So instead of making it boring, it's like playing a music inside an elevator. So so the people could see what's happening behind the scenes. So and you see that the names that it goes, you get the query results. Okay. So I'm going to, because it's a knowledge graph, I can go a step deeper. So I said, I know the name of the members of this committee. Give me the polls that come from these guys. Okay. So it's going to start to search the polls. And says, one of the polls that they found is that Fortsetzung der Bundeswehreinsatz im Sahel mit Schwerpunkt Niger. So I get the query results. So Honestly, I don't have any idea what is it. Okay, so I come to doc search, and then the thing is I'm doing is telling the AI, okay, explain the Polfortsetzung der Bundeswehreinsatz im Sahel to me like I'm 5.
Okay, yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
so I want to understand what is happening. Okay, so the thing is now behind is happening when you use the doc search tag is going to activate this smaller agent that I told you before that is going to do the dark search, and you're seeing what is happening. It's doing a search behind the scene inside the documents. Okay, because sometimes the documents are related. Sometimes you have a draft. The draft is changed, and after the change
I
it's
see.
get accepted. So there are some kind of process. Sometimes you cannot just go find the lastest one and get all information. But downside to it is that it's a little bit take of time. But at the end, the prize is that when you get the answer and it works, at the end you are going to get this also some kind of what was the research out of it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And you can follow the process, because if you just, like you said, if you just jump in 2021 at one point in time, you have the isolation, but the paper might have been debated some more time, have been picked up another time, have been voted upon, and then you get the full picture. That's really cool.
Yes, exactly. And another
Yeah,
thing,
he even goes back to 2018. Yeah.
so another thing is also was very important for me, that you can create trust in what you give back to the user by mentioning what was actually inside the documentation. Okay, so I can the thing is that the user need to know, okay, you show me documentation, that's a magic. Now show me how you're making it. So when you get the information, then you are going to get the from which document is coming, also link to the documentation. You see this down there is DB server Bundestag. I think it's visible or not. If
I
you
think it's
click on
not
it,
visible, but yeah, because you just share the window, not the full desktop.
yeah.
But we believe you.
No, you can click on it. I can
Yeah.
click on it, and the documentation is going to open.
Yeah.
So that's it. I get information. Okay, what is it about? Okay, German soldier helping in a country like Niger, called Niger, and it's neighboring. So it's going to explain it very easily to you. You can ask more difficult. I'm like a 15 years old, or explain in a gradually increasing difficulty. You
Yeah.
get which members voted on it. Okay, then also you're going to see another expert from why is important, and it's come from the document. The aim is to prevent further instability, okay, in the region. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
a really good reason. So we are helping as Germans, we are helping other countries. Then I come here to the query results. I have two parts: query result and document summary. So when I have the document summary, this is exactly what is coming from the algorithm watch.
Yeah.
And you see that you get some information and also some links that goes to our algorithm watch. Also, you get a document summary. Okay, documents, as I mentioned before, when you say get a document summary, first you get the you get a point a piece of the document is translated to English, because we are communicating with the AI in English. You can ask for in German when German is coming is exact point. Also, you see, it's there are two parts. One of them is Mali 2022. Another one is older documentation, and also is another document. So it's going to you have to access to whole documents so that you can go through it and ask, read it yourself. Don't believe what you see, and research yourself. So I actually
Yeah.
very one of the things that I wanted to do is that create this sense of curiosity in a very boring stuff like a process of the government. Okay, so for me was really interesting to go into there. Okay, uh, but let's go and make it a little bit harder. So, giving the name of and date of polls that Alice Vidal was not showing during the voting for immigration topics. So, something that's coming up a lot because I'm an immigrant topic coming a lot
Mm.
about this topic. And then, uh, it's going to give me that the name, okay? So, it says which when she was not there. Okay, she was not showing in the. She wasn't participating in the inside it. So,
Yeah.
and then I said, okay, I don't want to have a bias. Let's ask about who was not show or abstain during this voting. Fuck during a skilled work immigration topic. So
Yeah, it's
I
good. Yeah.
so
Fachkräfte,
okay.
especially skilled worker,
So
immigrate. Yeah.
that's something that's going to affect me and my friends. So something that was also important. So and again, it's not going to have some kind of bias. It's going to start to give you 27 people was not there. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to give you information who was not sure. For example, several people, notable people, was not there. For example, Olaf Scholz was not there. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, Lachlan was not there. So that's is going to see who is not there. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I say on finding the underlying hidden parents behind it. So I can see who was there, who not, and again also
Yeah.
again get it. So. Uh, and again, so I can go more deeper, okay, but I want to, because our time is a little bit short, I want to go through and asking about the election, okay, because it's a hot topic and everybody
Yeah.
is interested in the topic. Okay, so I have some question here. I'm going to use them. I have another question also up there, but let us start with something easy. So, what does the FDP says about the digitalization in their election?
So just maybe to repeat and so that everybody knows what is going on here. So you have imported all the Abgeordnetenwatch and parliamentary data and legislative data from the Bundestag and from what has already been passed into law, basically, and what has been discussed or what has not been. But now this is for the general election happening in February. You have imported all the, let's say, the programs or the ideas, the concepts, the plans, I would say, how each party goes into the general election in 2025 and what they say they want to do, what they want to achieve in the future, and you kind of like now can analyze depending on questions you post, you can analyze what is the party saying on points of interest you have as a interested citizen or as a obviously voter in the end.
Yeah, exactly. The thing was that there is a lot of what I saw that you see a VAL program is 65 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or sometimes more. Okay, some VAL program are smaller. Okay, but the thing is that you need to go through it, and it's really hard. We know, so some of the people have a full-time jobs. They want to do a very fast research or to compare something. Or sometimes one of the thing that one of the earlier user told me that when he start to read an article in a unit in a newspaper, he comes to Bundesflow and then compare it with the informations there. Okay, so it's some sort of fact checking.
Fact checker, yeah. Okay,
It's
cool.
fact checking for them,
Yeah.
and that's it. So again, back to our demo. When you are restarted, is typically defaultly go to the German. Sorry again, but the question is the position of FTP to digitalization. Again, you see that is give you some kind of excerpt. And what I've done through the last week, one of the things that I updated. At first, because I wanted to just to test it, I went very very easily with just a very simple chunking strategy. Just chunk it 500 characters, go to the next and start to do it. But something that I wanted to do to improve the whole improve the whole process for the user to find where exactly the topic is coming from. Okay, and that's also made by Neo4j, because I can create this kind of relationship between documents, so that I can
Yes.
do it in behind the scene. One of the cool thing about the whole process of developing the product or Bundesflow for me was that amount of the documentation and content provided was so. One of the guys that I read, I say daily, was Thomas from Neo4j. He wrote good tutorials, and it was like a guidance for me to learn from it. Yeah, I think he recently published a book. I don't have the book yet, but I think it's going to be a good read because I really enjoyed what he's writing about that, doing it, and I learned a lot from him. So the whole thing that is happening here is my what I read from what he posted. Other people, not just him, but his name coming to my mind very easily. So again, back to the demo. The thing is, I see that one of the things that I done at the moment, I can't say where exactly is the section is coming from. Okay, this thing, and when I click on it, I go to exactly to which page is coming from. So I can directly move the user now for in the Val program exactly to exact page. But everything is not flower and honey. There are a little bit. Sometimes there are some offsets between the exact page number and exact how is that the PDF is formatted. Sometimes there are offsets, so it says go to page 38 is in 39, but usually it's very fine.
It's relatively close enough.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm going to improve
that
it,
helps
but
you a lot. You don't have to sift through the whole document, but at least you are roughly in the right place where you want to be. Yeah,
exactly.
That's perfect. Yeah.
And then in the section part, you are going to get the where exactly it's coming from. So you have so it's like a path, you can follow it. Okay. The thing is that at the end also you get some kind of extra research material for you. So party instance, you're going to go in party priority, reasoning behind the party actions. Okay, party preference, recommendation for government. So it doesn't just give you a short answer. It gives you a reasoning behind it or why they're doing it. So you have the documents why you don't go extra step and to see what's coming out of it. So it's not just believe it there, try it, and you see there is the path you can go and check it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to do something a little bit complex. Okay, I say okay, compare the position of SPD and Greens on climate policy. So that users sometimes they want to see the comparison between two stances or in topics. That's one of the main topics that people are interested in it. And again, you see a start to give you an answer. And another thing that also is really important about the whole topic of a multi-agentic workflow is that because I have two agents and one of them is going to search through the whole graph, is going to take more going through the whole graph is going to be a little bit longer. But because here I use this just going through very local part of the graph, it's going to be much faster. Okay. So that's again the common ground. So it's a sort of what they have in common, not what they are different. It's very important. So we see the commonality between the people, not just what's the difference. And then I start to go to the processes. You see that they have some information about it and the key differences and how they economically frame it. So it's going to give you good honest. Again, you come here, you can see that you get some texts from them. Okay, is divided between the focus on the parties and then about the topics that they are going to talk about. So that's I think it's enough for demo. I'm going to go to other slides that I provided. I want to talk about other topics if it's okay. And back to my slides.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get that on. Here we go. Yep.
So as we saw, there is this three agents at the working. Another thing that I have a guardian. What is a guardian? If somebody comes, ask something very, I don't want to give the people the tool to frame their question that going to give them the answer that they could screenshot it and share it in the internet. So for example, who is the dumbest, for example, politician or something like that, they want to abuse it. Okay, so they couldn't do it. Okay, so there is this guardian agent that wrote you if you're asking something that it's somehow trying to take the unbiased approach out of the process, going to block it. So that's the guardians do that. So and Again, I'm going to go in the next slide, and then okay. Another thing that I do is as you see, we collect and evaluate the feedback. Okay, for collecting the feedback from the user, we have this button that you say, okay, it was related to what I wanted to know. Another one, I have another agent. That this agent uses the LLM as a judge pattern to evaluate based on 5 metrics: faithfulness, query relevancy, answer relevancy, context relevancy, and doc summary relevancy. So I want to show something behind the scene to the users that they are here. One moment. And this, I have a dashboard that I'm using Langfuse that I could see the scores that are created. One moment.
Yep.
Okay, I use this tool named Langfuse to collect all of the information about what's happening. So first of all, I can collect it. Another thing is also give me the traces that I can see what's happening inside the AI. So for example, we had this question about the last question we asked was about the climate change between comparing climate change and SPD. So this agent is coming and do the query relevancy and give me a comment why it was give it the score of 0.7, or what was the
Okay.
faithfulness? Was it a faithful based on the material that was provided or not? How was the doc summary that provided the user? It was good or not? Or again, answer relevancy. I can do all of these things for the all the questions, and the reason we are gathering at the moment, okay, is that we want to improve the system, okay, and another reason that at the moment we have I have it. A little bit closed test phase is that, and because we want to improve it, and we don't want to create some kind of privacy problem for the user because it's a political questions they want to. But at the moment, because I have a very limited number of users, I can collect it and also go through it and analyze it. Okay, so that's the reason. So back to the demo. Okay, so the thing is that I told about the evaluation, how we evaluate the questions. It's not just get it and believe it. We do a little bit of evaluation. Then, what is the challenges? As we saw exactly in the demo, okay, is that LLM may ignore knowledge graph relationship, causing delays or errors. Okay, the thing is sometimes LLM, I give them, okay, create this text to a cipher, do this pattern of the getting a text and creating a cipher query. Although the schema is provided, although that relationship is also provided explicitly, most of the times that errors raised from here is just because of the direction of the relationship. When it's created, it's going to it doesn't do the exact relationship. It's one directed. So, for example, to the something, and it's do it the other way. Another thing that could cause error is query result sometimes is bigger than the context window of the LLM, so that the amount of information is coming out of the especially if you ask about voting patterns and you get a huge time window, it's going to have some kind of give you back a lot of amount of data that is not easily to be processed by the LLM. That could cause error. So one of the reasons that I'm trying to integrate a Gemini, Google Gemini AI, was that because they have a user context windows, but it's still in a very beta phase. And again, what is for the next steps? Okay, first of all, boost performance and reduce cost with function calling. One of the outcome of the gathering the question that coming from the users is that we know what is a typical question, okay, and because of that we could create very small agents or create a small function using AI with a function calling that do with a cipher template that answer who is somebody, what is his job, okay, something like that that the people could do. So instead of going through the whole graph, search locally. Another thing is that it's a missed opportunity that we have a lot of documents and we don't extract semantic meaning from it or some entities out of it. Mm-hmm. Another thing is that, as you saw, the document search engine is a little bit slow. Honestly, it's not that slow, but the thing is that how we could improve the search that is could be faster. Another topic that honestly I want to touch is that I want to get into contact with the people that do this topic professionally and in the academic area. And if you want to do the testing and evaluating, getting some kind of feedback from them. Okay, so that it's more academically approved question is coming back. Another thing is that I want to do is that expand the data. So there is a lot of open source data. There are a lot of documents. And cool thing about the Neo4j is that could handle this large amount of relationship and nodes and what's inside it. And one of the things that I was very, very shocked how fast this worked, because I didn't. I had a lot of nodes, as I mentioned, 1 million nodes, and I'm sometimes amazing how fast comes out with the results back.
Yeah, and expanding is one of the nice things you particularly can do with Neo4j as your database, because you can just add on to it. You can rearrange, remodel even your data model, your thing, how it is set up, and you can add new ways to expand the knowledge graph, and that's yeah, it's very easily doable with Neo4j.
Yeah, and about the dev experience, the dev experience was really good. With the implemented integration to the, for example, LangGraph and LangChain framework, it was really easy to implement it inside that agent workflow. So that was another thing that I also had experience with it. Another thing at the end, I want to thank Upguard and Watch, because they are a non-profit organization. They collect the data, they provide it in a very clean manner that you can use. Okay, and it's honestly it's a very generous work they do. Okay, and the project was not possible without. It was possible, but with huge hassles to clean the data yourself and go through it. And with like every data science work, the biggest problem is the cleaning of the data and creating some relationship. And because I'm really thankful, because the project is there because they are there. So that's it. I don't know if I think I have some time to question some answers or answer some questions.
Absolutely. No, we have a couple of questions. I had a similar question that John, I think I wanted to ask with your question first. John asks, transparency is important. The challenge is behind the scenes lobbying and following the money. And I know this would be, I don't know if it's possible yet, or if you plan to add this feature. Do you think comparing well, I know following the money is hard, but comparing the WAL programs, or what's not called WAL program in English, the I don't know,
election program.
The election the election programs of the parties with how they acted in the past. I know there is something called the Wahlomat. It's like an election platform which gives you advice on the election programs, what to vote for. But I think looking back in the past is always interesting to see. Okay, you can write lots of aspiring things in your election program, but if in the past legislative period you acted completely differently, chances are you probably won't be doing the same in the future. Do you think that is something to compare into, like comparing these two things?
That possible, okay, but there's there's two things that I want to add. One of the things is that sorry. There's one thing is there that I didn't add to the my data was a transcript of the talks inside the Bundestag.
Okay.
There is a lot of information inside there that is untapped because they are just transcripts. Some people provide. Some organizations work on them to see what's happening at them. But another topic that data source could be added is that see which politician talk about what and how it did change. Okay, and you can see some you have the voting behavior from somebody or a group or fraction, and going to see what was their plan. You can going to build some kind of temporal process to compare them. Again, as mentioned by the John, there are another topic is the transparency about the lobbying.
Yeah.
There are some information about it, but at the moment I didn't work on it because the project, I mentioned before, the project was a small and now
Yeah.
ballooned very, really big.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
step by step, I'm going to add some other data sources. But honestly, one of the things that I really, really find interesting is the transcript inside what is talked about inside the Bundestag.
Yeah.
So
That could be interesting
some,
for sure.
yeah. So for example, it could help journalists who talk about something beforehand. So
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's cool. I see two questions that go in a similar direction. One from Mats, and one was coming in earlier from Petr, and they both were thinking about doing something similar. One for Petr for the Czech Republic, and Mats was thinking about something for Denmark. Do you have on your website, or is there a GitHub repository, or do you share your code somewhere where people can say, okay, I adopt this from Germany, and I wanna re-implement this for country, Denmark, Czech Republic, maybe for the UK, France, United States, whatever. If people are interested in going in that direction.
uh, I give you one. Honestly, I want to go to direction that make the at least make the project source available. So that's my intention to go in some extent to make it source available. But there are some concerns that I have. So I talk with some of my people that are they say the project could be some at this moment of the time because it's before the election. It could be used in create some kind of bias answers.
Of
And
course,
the
yeah.
reason, another reason that I mentioned before that I'm very careful about it. There was the bias that could be coming out about how you frame your questions. Okay,
Mhm.
and because of that, I'm at the moment I would not do that. But Matt's or I forgot the other
Petr,
one.
yeah.
Petra, come to contact. I'm very happy to help you to do that. So that the whole thing is that creating transparency for the whole Europe is going to be something good because then is come the Europe
European Union, yeah,
Parliament.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so then we are very, very connected because we are a large network, and then when you do something in somewhere, it's going to have a very butterfly effect on other topics. So it's good to be see how this if a small effect that's going to have a ripple and create some kind of wave into the Europe. So that is possible, but it's very far away from what I'm doing at the moment. But it's honestly it's a great topic.
It is definitely a great topic. I think, John, the other question he has is adding on extending the data set for proposed solutions by citizens or petitions, I guess, is the keyword. I think, like you said, you're working on adding some other things. The transcripts from the talks at the Bundestag, lobby control probably is another thing. Petition.org or something could be another thing. I mean, there are data sets aplenty, I guess, to add them in. I mean, you're just one person, so potentially, I think, like you said, and anything is possible. You just need somebody that does the work. Hopefully, it is sometimes it's as easy as with Abgeordnetenwatch, where you say the data is already in a clean and nicely usable format. Sometimes it is probably not, and it needs lots of hands-on work and cleaning the data, making sure it works and it fits the data model. So that is a lot of work and time consuming. So I think technically possibly is anything. It just probably stops at the resources from you or from whoever is able to participate. Maybe at some point this becomes a project for wider collaboration even. And maybe to finish it off, one more question from Rajendra was where is the solution implemented? Is it on cloud? Is it in prem? Could you say a few things about how you set it all up in terms of back end infrastructure
Uh,
for the website?
everything is inside the cloud. So everything. Of- at, at first, I was very worried about the performance of database in them very limited resources, but it was really good for me to see that it's worked really fine with a huge amount of data in a very limited resources. So I'm very transparent. It's at the moment hosting for me is cost around $48 a month,
Okay.
and as you saw that the performance is really good. So it doesn't cool thing about Node for it doesn't need that too much resources to do very traverse into the graph and find something.
Cool. And I guess, I mean, because the question comes up from Bogdan now is how about DeepSeek? I mean, you could potentially shave even some money off of the LLM part if you use another cheaper solution. I think that's possibility is there. I don't know if you would you have you looked at DeepSeek? Would you advise of before or against, or is that something you have not really explored?
I'm going to share something that's going to be very interesting. Okay, if you look at the left side, the first version that I released, okay, around 4 weeks ago, it had this creating the query, checking the query, and then executing it. So that is 3 steps. So before creating, I was checking the query. And for this process, I use ChatGPT for all. Okay, and the thing is that I tried multiple AIs. Okay, multiple AIs that create a query, but the fact was that the ChatGPT for all it works really fine with the creating a query from the text. Then I decided, okay, forgo checking the query if it's right or not. Okay, go and execute it first. If you get answer or back, then do the self healing. So that's if you go to see the last version, it'll start to execute a query. Okay, and then it's going to check the query. If it's not okay, it's going to recreate it and go back to the creating a second time for the query for the second time. And at the moment, for example, the analysis could be used by other LLMs. For example, I use XAI. I forgot to demo it. You can use XAI. You can use Anthropic, Gemini. But honestly, based on my experience, ChatGPT for doing really good job to create a query from the text. Although again, sometimes the direction of dictionary is missing. I don't know. It's one of the challenges that I'm facing. If somebody knows a solution, please give me, because that would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, John says storing and retrieving previously generated responses would reduce computation. So I guess if you have validated some answer already as maybe some user also gives feedback and say, okay, this is a great answer. Then if that is stored, then probably it doesn't have to run through it all the time again. But there's some ideas.
Semantic caching is going to work. I dabbled with it in other projects too, so I know it works. But again, for being transparent, again, to let the user see what's happening behind is going to be a little bit helpful for them. So it could build the trust in the process again. So, for example, this the small boxes that shows you what is happening.
Cool. Little over time, but I think that's still fine. I shared the link to Bundesflow once more in chat. It's bundesflow.de. So if you are interested in exploring it, have a look at it. If you are up for some querying the German parliamentary data landscape, I would say, then that's a great way to start. Have some fun with the election programs of the various parties in Germany. If you are German citizens, do vote. That's important. So that's whatever party you choose one. Go vote. With that, I think we are closing out. So thank you very much, Daniel, one more time. I think this is a really, really cool initiative. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for your colleagues, friends that encourage you to do it. Thank you for your employer that has given you the time to work on this. I think it's a really cool initiative. Every tech company, at least, I think, should have that as part of their incentives, almost, I would say. Give your developers, give your team a couple of hours a week, a day off to do some personal projects, and something fun and cool could come out of it, and inspiring as this one. So really, really cool thing. So thank you very much, Daniel, for doing it, for taking the time today, for presenting it, the demo and all. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Just one thing, I'm trying to release a version just for the election fast as possible, that everybody could ask questions. I'm working on it so that everybody could ask it. Main point, the mobile interface that everybody can use in a mobile. At the moment, it's just desktop based.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that should be fun. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so
cool.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. So
thanks for inviting me again.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you for joining. Next up, next week, 12th of February, I have Paul from the Neo4j team join me on Rust, Neo4j RS, a native Rust driver for Neo4j. So if you are working with Rust, that should be interesting to you, how to work with the the driver there, skipping the developer survey, and finishing off with the usual slide here. If you want to learn, learn more about Neo4j, want to start with your own database as a service in the cloud with no installation and no hassle, then go to Aura Free. Graph Academy gives you great place to learn about Neo4j, about how to actually write chatbots. Is a couple of courses there as well. So if you're interested in doing that, go there. And all things community, Neo4j developer, data science, and more you find on our developer pages. So check that out. And with that, thank you all for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your questions. As always, follow us on YouTube. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. And last but not least, thank you very much, Daniel, one more time for being here today and for presenting Bundesflow.
Thanks for having me. It was very much pleasure for me.
Cool. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.